Just for the record, there won't be any changes to the agenda or resolutions. So if there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak, you can speak now on any topic that you wish. Just raise your hand and I'll recognize you. You'll also have another opportunity at our 8 o'clock regular meeting to speak. You can speak at both if you wish, on anything that you wish. So, anybody from the public, please raise your hand if you wish to be heard. Okay, save it for later. Oh, yeah. The microphone is right here.
Here, and I'm right next
It's
to you.
actually in your mic, it's low. Very hard to hear in the back. That is a echoing. It's going to
Mr.
be.
Neville, can you raise the volume on the other? Thank you. Sorry, take your time. Is that-
Testing. Nope. Testing. Sounds like it's not on. Testing. Yeah.
That's good. I think that's fine.
Okay, I don't have, it's 489 Summit Street, County Forum. I just had a quick question. Councilwoman O, she's missed many meetings this year. I hope everything's okay. I also saw her house was on the market and it took a contract. Is she moving out of town?
She's not here tonight.
Well, Mr. Marinello, her house has a contract as a borough attorney.
I believe that she'll be present for the 8 p.m. meeting.
That's okay, but I'm just,
Yeah, we don't know.
I'm asking the borough attorney, her house is on the market, it's under contract. Is she moving out of town? That's all. Okay. I have two things. It'll be quick. I didn't see on your closed session agenda, did you have the Englewood Cliffs PBA versus the borough BERL 4240-18? Was that on your closed session agenda?
No.
Okay. I didn't see it. I would like to know if anyone on this council, governing body, I should say, is aware that the PBA filed another lawsuit?
I have not been informed of that. Mr. Marinello, were you aware of that?
No, I have not been, as far as I know, I haven't been served with any laws.
Borough clerk, were you aware of that?
No.
They're not aware of it.
Okay, well, the borough's already filed a response answer.
Who responded on behalf of the borough, do you know?
Dominic Carmignola, I believe Mr. Wunsch is aware,
That's an old case.
and I
That's an old
believe
case, man. That's
Mr.
not a new
Marinello,
case.
the communications are with you also, if I may just state this. I'm quite taken aback at what I read. For the record, it's, again, BERL 4240-18. And on June 14th,
So it's a 2018 case?
No.
It's got an 18 docket number.
It was filed last year. I mean, I can tell you all about it. It was filed last year. It was filed in 2018 before I became borough attorney. It was defaulted. The borough did not file an answer. And then in 2019, we were having discussions to try to get the default judgment lifted before they got a default judgment. Then they went and they were completely unreasonable and they went into a default judgment mode. And at that point in time, I spoke with Dominic Carmignola's office and Megan Mariano and a call that Joe, you were on also. And it was determined that we were going to defend.
and you were going to, I didn't hear you, sir. I didn't hear you last sentence.
And it was determined that we were going to defend it.
Okay, I'm just bringing to the attention of the council of what I found. It's a public site. And again, on June 14th, Michael Bukowski, attorney for the PBA, filed a motion for a proof hearing on that case. In his proposed order entering final judgment, his number 6 reads, and I'm quoting, any internal affairs matters or similar investigations, reviews, or disciplinary determinations which were referenced within the complaint are hereby declared a nullity and shall be expunged from any files maintained by the borough or the police department. And Mr. Marinello, they wrote to you on May 15th, so you did know about this. And according
It's
to
not
this,
a new case, so you started
you
out by
said
saying
you
it was
didn't know
a new
anything about
case.
it. You just
No,
said-
I didn't know anything
Mr.
about it.
Marinello, did you,
Don't
were
tell
you
me.
aware of what
Don't.
she was talking about?
I did.
Can you want to change your answer? Because I'd like to know what this case is about. Because you don't tell me anything, so tell me now.
Mayor, I have been the borough attorney since March 5th. You have not called me once.
Well, I
since
expect that
March
you would
5th.
call me, since you're working for the borough, to tell
I'm
me
not
that
handling
there's
this
a...
case and haven't handled it since
All right,
March
so
5th.
you're sometimes the borough council, but not all the time.
That's, yes, you're not new to this, you understand that.
Okay, but you're aware of this, right? Did you
I am
contact the
aware.
borough council or the mayor?
No, I'm
No.
not handling that case. That's the job of the attorney who's handling that
But
case.
there's correspondence.
So what?
So you're the attorney.
I
That's a
get
professional
correspondence every
responsibility,
day.
sir.
CC'd on these.
I'm not CC'd on anything.
if I just continue, on May 15th, and the reason I know all this is because Mr. Bukowski was kind enough to attach many exhibits, A through, I think, L. And there's a multitude of emails and letters to Mr. Wunsch, settlement negotiations that they redacted. I'd love to see what's underneath those redactions. Letters to Mr. Marinello.
Letters or one letter?
Um,
Which is it? Because I'd like to know.
Well, you already know.
No, you
Don't
you
question
just
me,
don't.
sir.
I can
It's a
question you.
disgrace, this entire governing body should know you're being sued again. And you
We're
should
not
have had
being
a
sued
closed
again.
session.
It's the same
I'm
lawsuit.
not gonna debate this.
You asked to debate it by
I'm
stepping
not
up to that
debating it, I
microphone.
asked if you knew.
Please don't
about
harass
it,
the
and you lied
resident,
to
Mr.
me.
Marinello.
You stated you did not know about it, sir,
You
and then you
didn't-
said
you
you
can-
received a letter.
Mr. Marinello,
You
it's
We
not
can play
arguing.
back the video,
Yeah, I mean,
because you said, are you aware of this new case? That's what you said.
It is.
That's right, you filed a new
All right, so
lawsuit.
here, in the interest of good order, what I'm gonna do,
No, excuse me,
What-
Mayor. I'm
And
not
then
a
when you
lawyer.
read the index number, it's clear that it was an old case, and then
They
now you're
filed a new
backtracking.
motion. I apologize
Stop beating up
for
on the
not
resident.
being
It's Carol,
aware.
let's be real.
oh. Well, you know, that's not acceptable
Really?
behavior.
Because she beats up on me every day.
She's not beating up on you at all.
Yeah.
It's a-
She's asking a question, it's valid. We don't know what's going on with this case. Mr.
The
Marinello, I
question-
demand that you
keep
tell me
changing the
tomorrow,
question, though.
full report from whoever is handling this. Mr.
I
Marinello,
apologize, I'm
I
not
demand
aware.
that.
I would
Close
be
the
happy
business
to give
tomorrow.
you a report.
Mr. Wunsch, no one's talking to you
Well,
right now.
because I know all about it.
You haven't raised your
So
hand, you don't have any privilege
So
to
do
speak
you.
out of your hand. You will have to
So
leave
do
if you
you.
call out of order. One more time and you're out.
You know, I only got up here to say that I'm really disturbed by what number 6 in their motion. I apologize if I used the wrong legal term, I'm not a lawyer, okay? So it was the docket number says 18. They filed a new motion on June 14th of 2019. To me, that's new. You know, you have 3 lawyers up there. I'm sorry if I used the wrong word. What is troubling to me is that they're looking to expunge documents. And we all know that there's a lot of litigation going on. And I'm going to read you spoliation of evidence. Spoliation of evidence is the intentional, reckless, or negligent withholding, hiding, altering, fabricating, or destroying of evidence relevant to a legal proceeding. That is what the PVA is asking for in their new motion that was filed. It's number 6. That's troubling, okay? That nobody here knows that they're asking for this. And they were going to court on July 12th. We filed a motion to intervene because no, you're hiding it from the public of what's going on. It's outrageous.
We're not hiding anything.
Did you
We're
know
not
that?
hiding anything.
Well, somebody is.
It was my understanding that the reason this judgment was issued is because our borough attorney at that time, Anne Marie, did not
So she
answer the
knows about it.
complaint. I'm very well aware of that case, and I'm aware of the fact that we've been trying to settle with the PBA because they're asking for an exorbitant amount of money. That's what I know up to now. So if there were new papers filed and they've added to this lawsuit,
As a
we
member of
wouldn't
the
be
police
here if
committee-
Anne Marie would have
Well, she's
responded
not here to
timely.
defend herself, and I was on the
Well,
council last year, and.
I
we
wasn't
were
on the
in closed
council
session.
Well, it sounds like Carmagnola was taking care of it if you
And that's what was
responded.
my understanding, okay, but
So don't blame Anne Marie.
regardless, there's certain people obviously that know about that.
Well, that was my understanding. I wasn't on the council then.
All right, just so for the interest of good order, I'd like to have a report by the close of business tomorrow as to what this case is and where it stands. And I'm going to give the borough clerk administrator an opportunity to change her answer. She said she didn't know about it. Is that correct?
The answer remains the same.
Okay, good.
Well, the police committee introduced, so perhaps they can give an update at the, later on in the meeting. This statement is about the affordable housing case and my need to write a letter to Judge Farrington. Never written a letter to a judge in my life. But when I read Mr. Wunsch's outright lines to the court, I felt compelled to have to set the record straight to the judge. And Mr. Wunsch, I wasn't going to bring this up tonight, stated to me, because he wrote that letter, certification actually to the judge in the first person. He didn't say, someone told me that, because I knew he wasn't at the meeting, right? And I know that there's nothing on video saying what he wrote. He just told me that there were 7 individuals who saw myself with the papers that he said I had in my hand. And he's nodding his head, yes. Mayor, I gave a certification, I gave a letter to the judge. I never saw an MOU. I don't know what the MOU says. I have no idea about the MOU. I don't know who the 7 people are. I'm disappointed that these lies continue.
Yeah. Mr. Wunsch makes things up quite often.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anybody else wishing to be heard? Yes.
This is for Councilman Aversa.
Name, please, and address.
Mary O'Shea, 12 Irving Avenue. Charlotte Place between Hudson Terrace and Sylvan Avenue on the north side of the street has 1 hour parking. Yet daily, the block is full of cars and they're there all day and they're never ticketed and they're never moved. The only one day when there was a detour because of the public service gas, they put some cones there so people wouldn't park. But I had to come down Hudson Terrace and come across that way. And I've been debating whether to call the police, but I figured I'd tell you, and you could handle it, all right? Because between Hudson Terrace and Sylvan Avenue, right opposite Connect One Bank, when that application was approved, the parking was limited to 1 hour on the north side of the street because they were supposed to keep the employees' cars on their property. And I don't know if it's their employees or the employees from the corner building where Burton Protective is. I don't know whose cars they are, I don't know if they're commuters, but it's 1 hour parking and their cars are there every day. And I've been looking at them, the same cars every day. Okay, so they need to be ticketed and we need to enforce our rules. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to be heard? Yes.
Roberta Books, 6 Demorest Court. I just have a small question. I've been reading this. And the first one, can I ask a question about this ordinance? It says that somebody must not have been convicted of a crime in order to become, I guess, a policeman.
I'm sorry. Which ordinance are you referring to?
2019-08, Section E. Oh, that works. And my question is simply, what is a crime? Is littering a crime, or, I mean, what does that mean?
Typically speaking, it would mean something that falls under the criminal code of the state of New Jersey.
Okay.
Misdemeanor usually would not be considered a crime. Disorderly person's offenses, unless they're 4th degree, are not crimes, so it has to be something that is a crime.
That's what makes sense, but should this be clearer in the ordinance?
I don't
That's my
think so.
question.
It's a good question, but
Is your microphone on?
I think so.
Oh, now it is. You go close. But when you sit back,
Okay.
it's not loud.
I know, I'm pretty close though, even in this spot. It's still not working.
I'm sorry, Ms. Brooks, were you satisfied with that answer?
I'm satisfied with whatever you do. I just wanted
Okay.
to raise it as something that might be clarified.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to be heard? Okay, seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there anything else that the council wishes to raise right now to discuss publicly?
After we close?
No. You're the council, they're the public.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
council wishes to discuss.
I just have a suggestion,
Yeah.
Mayor. Instead of double billing, meaning asking him to reach out to Attorney Carmignolo, perhaps you should reach out to Attorney Carmignolo. He can write you the report since he's the one defending the case, and then he can CC Mr. Marinello, and you guys will both be apprised, or the council, rather than two attorneys working on the same matter to get you a memo.
I didn't ask for a memo, I asked for an update.
Well-
By the way, I'm also a practicing attorney, and my clients don't have to chase me for reports. I give the reports to my clients when something material happens in a transaction. I'm not a litigator, I'm a transactional attorney. So I just feel like as mayor, I'm a client right now, and my attorneys are not keeping me informed. That's Serenian Wunsch and Marinello. So it's like pulling teeth. But it's your professional responsibility to me that's being breached. Anyone on council wishing to be heard on anything else?
Mayor, I'd like to make one point. I think we shouldn't have any time limits tonight. I think the issue we're facing, we're talking about tonight, is the most important issue Englewood Cliffs has faced in decades.
I agree.
And it would be a shame to have people impacted and limit people to 3 minutes or even 5 minutes for that matter. So I'm reaching out to the whole council, and Mayor, you preside over this meeting, so
Well, I'm going to
please.
disagree with you, Councilman.
Why is that?
It really depends on how many people we have here. We want everyone to be heard. No one has to stay here till 1 a.m. So I think it's only fair that we have a time limit, especially if we're expecting all of these seats to be filled tonight. Otherwise, it's going to be only one or the few people that will be speaking throughout most of the night, and the other residents will probably leave because they're not going to be heard. So
If people
Pushing
become
this topic to the first item on the agenda, I think you'll see that people will be very interested to stay. I don't think anyone will leave during the comments. I mean, we'll see how it's going. I think people want to hear all their fellow residents on
I
this
think we
issue.
should stick to the time limit. However, if people want to ask a second question, I could be amenable to that, but depending on obviously how many people are.
Let's not complicate democracy. We have no
Everybody
time
gets
limit
heard?
tonight. The people should speak.
No, I disagree with
At
that.
1 a.m., I thought that was pretty generous. I was planning on being here till about 3 a.m., but if you think 1 a.m. is good, well, that's fine. Look, I think people, this is an existential issue for this town, okay? So we need to let people speak.
Well, we have
Okay.
a 5-minute rule.
We're gonna
Somebody-
suspend it
No,
tonight.
you don't get to suspend it. It has to be a motion made, seconded, and voted on by the council. Otherwise, the rule continues to exist. So if Councilman Wu, as is his right, wants to make a motion to that effect, either now or at the 8 o'clock meeting, that's perfectly fine. That's how this works. Otherwise, the rule exists. Somebody could make a motion to shorten it as well if they want.
Well, I'm going to make that motion, but I'd like to see if we can come to some kind of agreement on this. Whether it's the number of questions, you know,
All right,
like I said, I think our residents want to be heard.
I do support that, and I'm hoping
I
that
think everyone.
that actually happens.
Not the few.
I'm trying to compromise on the issue, so,
We'll make it later.
you know, if anyone has a good solution, I just don't think we should cap it at 3 minutes.
Or 5 minutes for that matter.
So Councilman Wu, you can make the motion during the regular meeting, and I welcome you to do that, and we'll see where everyone up here stands. Okay? Anybody else on council wishing to be heard on anything? Okay, Mr. Marinello, do you have any reports for us?
No.
I think at this point, what we could do is adjourn the caucus meeting. The regular meeting will start at 8, so we'll have roughly 45 minutes in between. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.